We should start doing the thing before we record 20 minutes and have to restart yet again.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna fucking once one of y'all start talking about some shit, I'm gonna attack the fuck out of that citrus fruit. Watch me. Oh. Jesus Christ. Okay, nice. we gotta start this before Morgan actually kills us. Oh no.
It's all on recording. Just splice us in. Splice us in, coach.
All right. Let me. I'll bring us in. Hello and welcome to the YASEcast. I am Lamo, as always. Cradle to the grave, Lamo. I need to stop talking. Anyway, joined here by we got a whole crew on deck today. With me, I have the one and only Jarv.
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
I have the one and only Master Who.
Hello.
I have the one and only Morgan. And I have the often imitated but never replicated Snooze.
It is I.
It is. It really is. But oh my gosh, I don't think we've ever had 5 people on before, so I'm very happy to see all of your beautiful faces. That's right, see, because we're actually using webcams this time. So actually, so now when I make a really dumb joke that no one likes, I can see everyone just die inside a little. And that's what we're here for today, baby. So how have y'all been doing? What have y'all been up to? Watching, playing? Fill me in, Jarv. Let's start with you. What's been going on?
Sure. So, I bought Animal Crossing. I know it's kind of probably been like a popular topic, but I've always been someone pretty like ambivalent towards that game. Just kind of like, oh, it's cute, I guess. It's like not really for me though. I don't know. I liked like The Sims, I guess, whenever that game first came out, and I was good. But recently, my wife Heather's been like, I really want to play this game. I really want to play this game. I really want to play this game. It looks really cute. It's like, you know what? It does look really cute. Especially once I found out that you can have 2 people or more, I guess, on the same screen, like all doing cute Animal Crossing shit. You know, chopping down trees and watering flowers. And
Hell yeah.
that. And I started to see on Twitter more, like, that kind of got me like a little bit interested in it. I started to see on Twitter like people develop like a fandom or like their love of a fandom and like showing it off with their home as sort of like a little diorama dedicated to, like, I saw some Grand Blue characters, or I saw someone in the FGC put together like a little like 8 candy cab tournament station with like people cheering in the stands. It looked so cool. And I know, Rhett, you are like big into games that allow you to like pixel by pixel design stuff, and I've seen you do like cool Yay shit or cool like just anything shit. And I'm
yes.
I know that there's a really powerful customization engine and editor in Animal Crossing. I kind of want to get it for that reason, also because it's cute. My wife wants to do cute things in that game. But I've also designed some YASEware in that game. I'll have to post it up. Maybe we'll put it in the episode description or something if I can figure out how to like share it or whatever, or we'll share it from the Twitter account. I think I'll try to keep doing that and share some more YASE related things. So YASE fans out there, if y'all listen to the YASEcast and you want to put YASEware on your YASE villager, I guess check out our Twitter sometime after you hear this, and hopefully you can do that.
Hell yeah. So I haven't played any of the local stuff before. I did hear that it's a little bit like you can't really go off screen or anything like that. You're too far away from the other person who's playing, whoever the leader is.
Yeah.
But I remember when you first brought that up, outside of the podcast, you had talked about we're going to remove all of the weeds on the island. I'm like, fuck, that's like the best possible thing to do it for. Because that way it's just, all right, let's just get rid of this fucking... When you start your island in Animal Crossing, for those of you that haven't played it yet, your island looks like a goddamn garbage dump. Well, okay, I shouldn't say that. That's maybe a little bit too far. Obviously, no one's living on it, so
it's right,
it's a deserted island. It's just, it's covered in weeds and shit, and you got to pick them all, and it's a giant pain in the ass. I think it's like over 200 weeds or something, and then you have all these fucking weeds that what are you gonna do with? So, anything to kind of make that process a little bit more tolerable. That's good.
So it's pretty fun, but you're right that it is a little bit limited. There's like a leader, and then everyone else is considered a follower, and the followers can't get into their pockets. And so the pocket button is just like a swap item button, and anything they pick up, they send to the recycle bin, which is cool because then later they can log in and take it. But they unfortunately have to do like the I got a thing animation every time they pick something up, every weed, every bell, every anything, and I'm just like, okay, I can do like 2.5 weeds in the time it takes you to do one, but it's still that much faster because you still are getting it done, and it's, Heather and I just like to chill out and like, listen to music and play that game, or listen to the music in the game, and just kind of like chill and like do whatever the game asks of us, get the little Nook miles. It's kind of fun to like just zone out on something else, even though we have our own house that is probably requiring our attention more than our Animal Crossing island. But
you don't get points for that one though.
That's true.
No shit, you don't. No weird Tanuki dog like emails me on my phone and is like, "Hey man, you got 200 points for fixing your sink."
I wish I had that. Damn. I'm looking at my Switch. It's like right next to where I'm sitting right now, and I'm like, I could just load up Animal Crossing.
No, not while we're on the podcast. You can play in an hour. Give me your friend code later.
I will.
Right.
So another game that I've been getting back into. I guess I've been starting to use gaming as a form of like reaching out to people and like connecting with people in various ways, both with Animal Crossing and like this little like shared diorama space with my wife, and now like trying to catch up with other people from who just feel isolated because of COVID, or I am not seeing them personally because I'm not going to their house to play fighting games or anything, or they've just always been an e-friend, but now even e-friends feel lonelier due to COVID and
some
quarantine.
may call them a little e-boy, perhaps.
Maybe potentially a little e-boy, little e-boys and e-girls who want to play some games.
E-boys.
And so I've been getting saying all that to say I've been playing 14 again, Final Fantasy 14, y'all. I had like an 11-day endeavor trying to get my account back because I used an email that was originally a school email that once I started working for that university became a work email, and then I left that job and then they locked that work email. And so I wasn't able to get back into my account. But
dude, that shit is the absolute fucking worst.
Any other email that you've ever used. So a Realm Reborn beta from 2009 fucked me over on like my regular email. So I had to make a new email just for the damn game. I'm like, I better like this game. They made tanking easier, so yeah, I like this game. I spam overpower a couple times, and like all the lower level dungeons are easy peasy. And I'm trying to get back into it because there's friends to hang out with, and just like the idea of like hanging out on VC and just like shooting the shit and playing some 14 is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely the nicest thing about playing a lot of those games too, just because sure, like it's fun to run some duties and shit, but really I just want to fuck around with my friends, and that's kind of like one of the easiest things, or rather one of the easiest, most accessible ways to do it, especially because it's you have so many people playing at once and you're all doing things, and it's nice. I'm glad that I also resubbed the game too.
Yeah, I'm trying to play some Palace of the Dead.
Oh shit!
Do
it.
You think about resubbing?
You too?
Just play with us.
It's gonna happen.
This is probably the best time to dabble back in it. There's so many people going back into it right now. So many new players, so many returning players. Obviously, a lot of FGC members. This is really probably the best time if you're thinking about it to go back into 14. I haven't regretted. The game's easier than ever to really play. Back when I used to play a couple years ago, a lot of the classes were a lot more complicated, and just from going back into it myself, it's a lot easier. It's a lot more streamlined, and this is probably the first time I've ever in what has it been, like 8 years, 9 years, however old the game is, that I've had multiple different friends to play with. Before it's ever just like one person that's subscribed that I have to make a character in their world to play with, or one other person is subscribed. This is the first time where it's like 10 or 12 or 15 people are now subscribed, which is an incredible feeling. I don't have to like schedule my work life and my gaming life around their schedule when they're on 14. It's really cool to just get to be able to hop on when I want and have people to play with.
I love it. I feel the same way. I've got local friends, I've got online friends, I've got some of y'all, some close friends, some more acquaintances. Everyone playing, and everyone's like pretty cool about helping me get back into it, and so pretty tight. But so yeah, Morgan, you were just saying that you were thinking about getting back into the game. What class do you have? An old class that you're trying to pick back up, or some of the newer ones maybe catch your eye?
My heart is a pit of black miasma, and I only play Dark Knight.
Ooh, Edgelord has signed on. Well, I might want to be a little edgier than that. I kind of want to
Okay.
break some guns. I'm not like a huge FF8 fan or anything, but the Gunbreaker seems pretty neat.
Gunblade is like the dopest shit. But I remember as like, and I can't get over this in adulthood. I was like, even as a kid playing Final Fantasy VIII, I was like, but if he shoots the gun, won't it break the sword? It's like, because like the bullet would like hit the blade.
Why
and
would it break the sword?
In my childhood mind, it didn't work, and it like ruined Final Fantasy VIII for me.
Of all the things that could ruin Final Fantasy VIII for you, including Final Fantasy VIII, it's like your misconception of Gunblade.
It's the gun sword. It's the gun sword.
Yeah, I don't like that game, but
Me
the
too.
Opening theme still bangs.
Yeah. What else?
Oh, yes.
So
I
what else
really
is
like
that's
the
cool?
opening theme,
Like
Dave.
Red Mage is in the game now. Like,
Samurai,
Red Mage is
a whole bunch
cool.
of people.
Red Mage used to be busted when they came out. Holy shit. There's so much.
There's Dancer.
Though. Like, I hopped back in, and my main class is always
Positionals,
Monk.
right?
Monk is super heavy on, like, all its moves are based on, like, hey, if you're attacking from the rear or from the flank or from wherever, that's when you do, like, the actual, like, good damage, you get the good stats effects and shit like that. And it was so fucking hard coming back into it. It's like, okay, well, this has to be here. Then I'm looking at my hotbars and I'm like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. So you know what I
Yeah,
did to
good
fix that
call.
problem? I started a level 1 archer. And I just fucking ignored my problem. Because that's a great thing about 14 is that, you know, you can have multiple you can have essentially every class or every job or whatever on one character. It's not like, oh, I have to make a new character. It's like, fuck that shit. I'm out of here. I'm going to go play a fucking low-level character. Let's do
shit.
one, and then maybe two
Yo,
every
you-
once in a while. If I'm feeling spicy.
How long did it take you to grind out the terrible beginning and play that character for real?
I switched back after a while.
Or are you still not there?
No, so I mean, once you go through like, the main story on one character, like you don't have to do it on the other ones, like the other jobs rather.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
like-
don't you still have to like crank out like 50 levels, right?
Yeah, but I have like so much shit
you go
unlocked
to,
by
like,
that point too.
leveling
There's like
roulette
way
and stuff
faster
like
ways
that.
for me to level up those
Mm-hmm.
past.
When
so I
you're
can
when you're
start
starting
doing, like,
out
the
from
dungeons and
scratch
shit.
like you were, homie,
Yeah.
it sucks. I'm not
Like,
gonna
you hit
lie.
15 or 16.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
Bro, I simply
Yeah.
cannot.
Whoa,
Final
hot
Fantasy
take.
14 is a bad game.
Whoa.
I guess it might be cool once you
There
grind
there
out
starts
50
to be
levels.
That's
mechanics
not wrong.
around like
Like-
you know 40 something. There
Yeah, you're right.
mechanics. We did Armdale yesterday. It's like, yo,
You're right.
you have 2 stacks. You gotta eat. Oh, here's the first real mechanics.
Ugh.
You gotta eat this fruit. Hey, stay out of the
I
fucking
gave-
goop, idiot.
I gave that game like a legitimate shot, but like I went through like 12 levels, and it's just like go mash one on some squirrels. Okay, go mash
All of
one
this is
on a air elemental or something, and I was just like,
They gotta.
I-
Collect 3 fruit. Give it to this guy.
So what I was trying to
Yeah,
tell you
it's
the other
pretty-
day was like
it's pretty
I
hard
think
to get past
World of
that.
Warcraft at one point, like once they had like level 100, 110, they're like, fuck, what do we do for like new characters that need to like get up that high? And so like they start you on like a separate continent where they like rush you through like 90
Yeah.
levels like instantly and like teach you like game lore.
well,
Holy shit.
I read a little bit about 14, and I saw like I think if you start a character that's one
You
of
have
the
to have
newer
unlocked it.
classes, like it just starts you at level 60 or whatever,
Yeah,
like
so,
whatever cap was when that character came out. Like they should just let me do that.
Yeah, from the very get-go, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, you have to take one of the basic classes, get it up to 50, and then
Yeah.
if you want to unlock it, you start at 50 with that other one.
Yeah.
But you still have to play through Realm Reborn. Really boring, long stuff, and I think I mentioned it in the YASE Cord, but I'll mention it on the podcast here. But now that I've resubscribed, this is the first time in 8 years that I've gotten past the Realm Reborn. It's taken that
Wow.
long of on and off gameplay because it's just such a drag, and I'll resubscribe, play for like 5 or 6 days, and then not play it again for 2 years. It's such a
But
such
that's such a
hard
sick
drag.
testimonial.
But now
like
now I've gotten past it.
Now you're going
It's
Heaven's
so
Wars.
cool now.
It's actually super.
Now I'm
dope.
wondering, yeah, and
But,
I
like,
hear
going
that's
back to it,
fantastic.
one of
I'm
the only
excited.
bummers
I'm
I
really
had
excited to see
personally
something
is,
that's.
I played Scala
Yeah.
up until Heaven's War, and then I was like, "Fuck this! I'm embracing the edge." Death Knight was my shit, and Wrath of the Lich King, I'm playing Dark Knight. So I unlock it, and then I had to go back and play old content because, like, I was like 60 when I unlocked it, and it's like now I have to go back and play like RM Vale and stuff, and it's like I want to do the cool new stuff, but I gotta like do old stuff before I can. And that was kind of a turn off for me, and was actually what got me to quit it the preceding time. And then I played it again, and I basically finished Heaven's Ward, and I got my cool flying mounts, and I fly on my chocobo. He tries very hard, and I want to play it again now. I just want to do Death Knight things. I want to just like, I really want Death Grip. I missed.
That's fine. You know what the coolest thing about playing Death Knight is, or any tank? Get your Qs fucking instantly. Play DPS, have fun waiting half an hour, sucker.
I know we all did like the Lewd Mario
Play
personality
tank or
test
healer,
before
good God.
this, but I feel like that's more valid than the Myers-Briggs. But even more valid than Lewd Mario is.
I have
Don't pull us back
one up
into
right
there.
now, by the way.
But like whether or not you
I'm
play
sorry.
like tankular DPS, I feel like there's something underlying personality going on there. Because
Oh, but then
like once I don't understand DPS players. I don't know why I don't
yeah.
ever pick those classes. Y'all are plebeians. I'm here to take control of the situation. Or if I want to play healer, I just want to let people die.
Listen,
I picked
my main is a
Conjurer because I
DPS.
looked up the
Fair.
classes, and White Mage had the cutest clothes.
Fair. You should play like Rhett plays Archer.
Of the
on
ones
Jump
I
because
could pick.
Archers have the coolest fucking looking gear. Their gear looks cool as shit.
Oh, absolutely.
Meanwhile,
I thought about
Yeah.
Archer solely so that I could play the Bard and like do the music mode, but then I was like, I do just own like a real guitar, so like,
Good.
you know.
Meanwhile, I'm over here playing Monk and doing how much random sexual kink knowledge do you have? So far, I'm doing pretty good. I just want to say that. I don't know what I
So,
don't
yeah,
know
with
what
14.
gerontophilia is though. I'm gonna look that one up.
Improve your life. Improve your life.
Just please ignore
Yeah,
it.
I am hoping that I can connect and reconnect with both the game and the people that play it, and try to get over my anxieties of tanking. Because you were talking about like taking control of the situation. Well, if I don't know what the situation like really is and some of the mechanics, if I let like one trash like get off of me, I feel like pretty bad, and I feel like an anxiety that I'm like letting the team down. But as I've come to find out yesterday from playing with the YASE folks, we all jammed a couple dungeons. They made it real fucking easy to tank. Like you just like
Basically, yeah.
throw your ranged thing, run in there, spam whatever your AoE is like twice, and then just start doing like a combo on everyone. That's it. And everyone just like, as long as your filtering is good and you can like click on the things or use your PS4 pad on the things that need to be thinged on, you're good. Everyone just kind of like hangs around you.
Yeah, I actually.
Can you rush people in that
definitely do
game,
the story
or do I
mode.
have to literally do
Oh,
the
you gotta-
whole
you gotta
story
grind
mode
it.
myself?
You gotta earn distinction. I
Oh, okay.
Play
I
in
used
like
to have a lot of tank.
sorry,
No, you're good.
play in
I
like
used to have a lot of tank anxiety, but
oh, we'll have to talk about that in a second. But quickly, Vince, play for in like 6 months or something. They're gonna like reduce like 15% of the ARR content, which is crazy, but is really not enough. That's kind of what I thought you were gonna say.
15% is not a lot.
I mean,
I looked up the main quest line online the other day, and I was like, "This is like a lot of quests, like
hope you fucking like
a lot of quests." And
8
I
years.
really
8
wish
years.
I want to play the game with my friends, but like I don't think I can. If I had 8 years to grind out level 50, I could probably deal with it. But I don't think I can just sit down and play that game for like 8 hours a day doing like trash
hope
mobs.
you like the
know?
Waking Sands.
Understandable.
Yeah, going to see Midphilia. Going to see Midphilia at the Waking Sand.
I was gonna say.
I don't know what that is.
So
Pray
Morgan,
return
what I've
to
heard
the
from
Waking
other players is
Sands.
just like the only way, and maybe you'll be able to validate this, the only way you really get over those types of anxieties, tank anxieties, ladder anxiety, whatever it might be, ranked anxiety, is just you gotta do it. How do you feel about that?
Basically.
You just gotta do it.
I mean, basically, I think I had the same realization because, and I still do the thing where, like, if it's a new instance, I'll, like, bring up a YouTube tutorial or something, so I, like, have an idea of what the mechanics are. But by and large, like, kind of like you said, especially in 14, I felt like tanking, especially, like, before, like, pre-raid tanking, was pretty easy. It was, like, you throw your AoE thing, you do the stuff, and, like, the burden of the mechanics are mostly on DPS players, whereas you're kind of, like... the boss stays on you and you kind of chill. And even if something does get away from you, like, you just taunt it or like throw your ranged thing at it, and like
Provoke real quick.
generally people aren't going to instantly die in dungeons unless they like really fuck up a mechanic. So yeah, it's just like the worst thing that happens is like, oh no, a mob got away from me, and then like we just move on to the next pull.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. And then you go back to being the arbiter of life and death.
Like, I'm standing on like the brink of death, and like I want my HP to stay at 1. Like, fucking kill me, suckers. You can't, because I have complete faith in my healer and 0 faith in the DPS players. So I try to kid out with as much like ring of mending or fending, and also like, you know, a little bit of strength in there too. All sorts of shit. I don't know if War's really like that anymore. At one point, Warrior was like pseudo DPS, but I think they've like really like hard lined everyone into like their roles now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay within your lane. Don't do DPS.
Stay in your
you're
lane.
doing too much damage. No.
Fall back.
I don't trust my healers. That's why I play tanks with self heals. Just like, oh no. I'm the arbiter of life and death here, not you.
I think more games should be designed around self-sustaining
Yeah.
classes, to be honest.
That's PSO2,
Also,
probably. Everything's DPS.
Also
There's
Guild
no there's no role. It's just what number can you make big?
I mean, I think roles are fine, but I'm not a big fan of like. I mean, it's like fine, but I'm not a huge fan of healing classes in general, just because I feel like every single game that has like a healing class, like you have to pick it. There's like no meta to it. Like the healer is either good enough that it's an instant pick, or if they're not good enough to be an instant pick, it's like, why would you pick it? Just
Fair.
get more DPS to kill the other guys.
Mm.
But I get it. I mean, it's just part of like the standard like RPG design. But like, I'm thinking more of stuff like God, what's that game?
Damn, that
Guild
sucks
Wars.
to hear.
Healing classes in Guild Wars were a bad idea. I thought they had made that game like mad unfun because every comp was exactly the same, and same with Overwatch was like
Yeah,
kind of
don't.
similar. It was just like
People who are like
I
mad
don't know
at
where that
Overwatch,
game's
do not
at now,
flame us
but
on
like when
Twitter.
it came out,
Do
you
not
know,
come
it was
for
like-
us. Like, we don't really play that game at all. Period. We are not like Overwatch League people.
Yeah, I have no idea where that game is at. But when it came out, I was just like, I got tired like pretty quick of like every single
Basically,
team comp
yeah.
being like, well, insta pick these two
They
healers.
actually can come for me. I am the arbiter of life and death.
Yeah.
Oh, the true tank. Is long gone.
You'll attract the aggro. They're all gonna focus on you.
There we go.
I'm this.
All right, there's a lull in conversation, so I have to
What
say
is
I found
it?
another really dumb BuzzFeed quiz. Picky
Oh.
eaters will get exposed at the end of this Cheesecake Factory quiz.
I've been there once, and
I've never eaten a
desire to
Cheesecake
return.
Factory.
Oh, you're better
What?
off for
The
it.
cheesecake is okay.
You know, the cheesecake was not
Sorry.
awful, but
Yeah, it's like fine.
yeah, but like their whole
It's
menu
made of-
is too much.
What kind of,
It's
what
fine.
else do you at a Cheesecake Factory?
If you call your
It is
restaurant
factory
Cheesecake
made,
Factory, your
mass-produced.
cheesecake better be more than fine.
Yeah.
Like,
Why,
come on.
why wouldn't it be like? Why isn't it just like? Okay, hear me out. What if it was the
sounds
Cheesecake
artisanal.
Kitchen or
Yeah,
like the
that sounds so
Cheesecake
much better.
Bakery? That sounds so much better. That sounds so much better than.
We bumping this shit
you
out.
just pump this shit
The
out as
factory.
fast as possible. It's a fucking factory. We got quotas.
Workers
to
are
meet.
not unionized.
like. All
Yeah,
right,
probably not.
I'm no. Cheesecake Factory definitely uses scab labor. There's a giant inflatable rat eating a giant inflatable cheesecake right outside that place.
That is a good movie.
Ratatouille.
I
I
liked
need to close
Ratatouille.
out.
That was a good movie. I bought a cooking rat. And he's talking about rats and cheesecake. I just think about like the cute little Ratatouille guy,
That would
like
be
making
Oh,
little.
first
like,
of all, yes,
mouse-sized
gotta
cheesecakes.
see Ratatouille.
Yeah,
Is that
yes.
movie good?
It's actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ratatouille rules.
Yeah?
You should give it a shot.
really
It's
good.
really
I've never seen Ratatouille, and I actually kind of want to see it.
I
Let's not
really
do
like
that.
that
Let's
movie.
do a podcast.
Let's watch
yeah.
Ratatouille. right
Another
now, so
time,
tonight.
another time we could do some sort of,
Oh my God.
you know, cast together. When we all own the DVD Disney. We're definitely not gonna share someone's Disney Plus account over like 5 Discord shares.
Why is
talking
Why
about
is
doing
Lamo out
fine.
of control right now?
I don't know, man. I had a
know
Miniola
what the fuck that
Tangella at the
is.
start of our recording. That's actually what it's called. You can fucking.
Oh,
It's a
that was
small
the thing the
citrus
other day you
fruit.
were trying to say was like real, like hoity-toity sounding.
It is hoity-toity.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
What
you
the
did.
the
fuck?
thing that I bit the nipple off of when we started recording.
Yeah, you sure. You
Remember?
showed
No,
us.
but like
I said
we're
I
trying
had
to
a
get
nipple
listed
on
on
it.
iTunes, and they have content
You
restrictions.
sure
You
do.
can't go talk about nipples.
Listen. We make
You
make
said
our
the
way into
N-word.
one niche market.
You can't. Wait, no! You said
It's a
said
heated gaming
nipple.
moment.
At least it wasn't the gamer word.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't gaslight me here into thinking I actually said something really bad because I said I
white
actually
guilt
was
has
believing, like,
activated.
oh no, did I? Well, I was
Did it slip? Did we have a little nip slip on the recording?
People listening at home.
No.
I was about to get banned from Evo. Y'all are gonna
People
let me get
listening at
banned
home
from
can't
Evo.
see it, but Lamo's face is so fucking red. It's really funny.
Old,
He looks like he just died.
he looking like that Tangelino or whatever.
Now
Looking
he's
like that
hiding in his
pompous
cup.
fruit.
Okay. We're back in it. So, Rhett, what have you been playing this week? What you been watching?
I'm glad you asked.
Back on track, baby. I'm the master of segues. We fucking in
Third
there.
rail.
We did it! We're back on the rails. I'm proud of everybody. Surprise, also playing 14. I don't want to talk about real life stuff too often, but especially with COVID going around and whatnot, it's a little exhausting to continue to have to go outside and go to work and pretend like everything's normal. So my escape away from all of that has been 14. I feel like this was a perfect time to resub. Mostly, here's gonna be a weird like backing for why I'm resubbing is exactly for the reason that Vince doesn't want to play the game. I wanted to turn my brain off and do the dumb orange collecting quests. I wanted to do the dumb like kill these 5 mobs. I think that stuff is fun. I want to turn my brain off and I don't want to think about it. I just want to do the dumb side stuff and that's relaxing. And then oops, I accidentally got into the fun content and now I know what fun content is and I can't go back. But I completely resubbed to 14 just so I could do the dumb boring stuff because it's exhausting to go to work, come home, play fighting games especially. That's an exhausting, mentally taxing thing to do. 14 is the complete opposite of that for me. I can turn my brain off, I can chill, I can be with my friends, be in a safe spot where I don't have to go into ranked, I don't have to play on net play, I don't have to stress out, and I can just find a way to escape from the horrors of real life. So 14's been a perfect escape for that. Otherwise, my life has just been waking up and going to work and trying to stay healthy as best I can.
Mm-hmm.
Which these days is sometimes that's a fucking challenge, man. Let me fucking tell you. Because I'm having the opposite experience where I've been staying at home. Like, I work from home now. I remember when I wanted to work from home. Now I'm like, good God, I miss the outdoors. I miss going to a place and seeing people all the time.
Do you ever like go outside and then the sunlight hits
Frequently.
you and you're like, oh my God, this is what it feels like?
Yeah.
This is what sunlight feels
Just-
like?
Just about every day when I go
This
grocery
is what
shopping,
air tastes
or
like?
rather, every time that I go grocery shopping, I'm just like, man, it's beautiful out
Oh my
today. Go
God.
drive to the store with the windows down. It's fucking.
You don't really know that you miss it that much until you don't have it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, you just go outside and it's like, oh my God, air, oxygen, sunlight. Oh, so good.
Get on Twitter. Hey, this shit rules. Y'all tried this air shit?
Getting absolutely
I don't know if y'all knew.
buck wild off
but
this
let,
shit.
let me tell you about the tech, and it's called air. It's
Air.
fucking wild. I know. But
Yeah, that's it's the best part of like
It's pretty
having a
great.
dog,
Pretty good.
honestly, is that she does force me to go outside. So it's like at least 3-4 times a day I have to get up and go outside no matter what. So that's like kind of It is really nice. It keeps me kind of grounded throughout that. But
That's
I totally
really
get
nice.
that, because one of the things that like has really gotten me or surprised me really about social distancing and everything is that like there's time, but it's not good time. Where it's not time where I really want to like watch something very like heady and cerebral. It's sort of like, so I started playing Drakengard. I haven't finished Drakengard because I'm like, I really want to be thinking about this as I'm playing it, and like the characters and like picking up on little things. Like that requires like attention and effort. And it's like, so I totally get the appeal of like subscribe to an MMO and like press 112, because if there ever was a time to press 112, it's when you're like 90% of your brain is taken up by dread and anxiety, and you're like, I have exactly 10% to dedicate to 112, and I can do that right now.
Oh yes.
And it's been surprising, because I'm like, I'm gonna catch up on all these like really heady like documentaries and stuff, and I'm like, ah, shit, I gotta pay attention to that. Fuck that. Yeah.
I mean, in every other circumstance, that would be appealing. Like, I want to read books, I want to watch movies, I want to catch up on these things, I want to catch up on podcasts, watch these documentaries, I want to do all these things I wanted to do. And when it comes down to it, you're so exhausted from just the dread creeping in of just everything collapsing in. Twitter is absolutely, every time I look at Twitter, it's just another thing going on where I'm just like shaking my head at it. I can't realize it's real life. It's exhausting to even get the energy to do something that normally you would find appealing. But finding something to turn my brain off and truly escaping, like with an MMO and pushing 112 or picking up fruit off the ground or whatever it may be. Even Animal Crossing, I would say is perfect for this right now. That's really what my brain is craving.
You know,
it's just something to get away from it all. A true gamer escape.
Which
Which
I
is
keep
weird.
thinking every time y'all talk about 112. I just keep thinking of some like Kazuya
You're one-
counter hit 112.
Mishima 112.
I was gonna say, you doing electrics over there?
Gonna come out like Jack 7.
Damn.
I guess I can bring this up. I know this was a topic on last week's podcast with a birthday boy over here. I got to kind of touch base, but it's really hard to play fighting games right now. I don't know if it's just me, but I really, I even with like, I think Morgan was talking about like, she's enjoying Grand Blue. She's enjoying these games. What's the end goal? Because right now there's no tournaments, there's no meetups, there's no friends, there's no whatever. I think this is the first time ever I've had that happen, and it's the first time ever where I'm like, I don't want to turn on a fighting game. I don't want to. There's nothing for me to look forward to in it. So even if I go on and play online, it's hard to see why I'm playing it, and it's a weird feeling that I'm not even playing it for fun. I don't know. It's. Does anybody else experience that right now? Where
I definitely feel
fighting
it.
games aren't
Typically, the only thing that's really keeping me
hitting
motivated lately has been streaming. It's like I'm kind of good at fighting games, and like I mean, exactly like Jav was saying, where it's like I'm playing games as like a social outlet. For me, it's like I realize it's like, oh shit, I wrap up the day. If I didn't have meetings, it's 4:00. I haven't talked to another human being outside of like Twitter. So if I get on stream and I have a couple people that hang out and want to talk about how Joe Biden sucks, great. Like I can like interact with these people and talk to somebody, and that's really how it's become an outlet for me. And I really don't have a lot of motivation to play outside of it. So like on the end of Grand Blue, like Zoe just came out, new character dropped, and I'm like, I have like no motivation to lab that character, and the character that I do play just got nerfed. So I tried playing without streaming, just to see what the changes were like, and I'm like, this is not as much. This is like kind of hitting different compared to when I'm streaming, and I'm like, I at least am like interacting with people, and it's an outlet and everything. Yeah, so yeah, I definitely feel it. Just like, what is the motivation?
Absolutely.
What am I working towards? Well, I'm trying to just have fun and stream and be entertaining.
Yeah, I definitely used fighting games and still use fighting games as a social outlet. I use it as a gateway to meet people and go travel, and it's really the only reason I kind of get out of the state. I don't have any other reason to leave my state and go see anybody anywhere except for fighting games. So I guess when it comes down to it, I'm not missing the fighting game part of it, and I guess it's just where my goals align and my interests align. Now that I don't have the social aspect to look forward to in it, the fighting game part isn't connecting as well with me anymore either. And I'm sure that will come back once tournaments come around. I'll be like, oh yeah, like such and such next year is coming around. I'll be like, oh yeah, fighting games are back. I'm back in it. I'm going to play fighting games all the time. But right now, I just, there's something about turning on Street Fighter, or turning on Grand Blue, or turning on Guilty Gear, hopping on the Strive beta. Everything just kind of felt a little empty, a little soulless.
Yeah, I definitely get that, because I was thinking about getting into, even just like Fightcade, hopping on into like the Super Turbo channel or something and just playing randoms. But there's something about not, and I feel like this kind of ties into what we were talking about before about MMOs are kind of perfect for what a lot of people want to turn on, because right now it's like my mental energy right now is like I just want to do 1, 1, 2 or something like that. I don't want to have to put, I mean, if it's a newer game like Grand Blue, I don't know if I have the mental energy right now to where I really want to start trying to learn a new character. I don't think I want to have to play anything right now where I have to like, okay, well, what's this mix-up coming in, and what's going on in the real world right now is mentally and emotionally taxing enough to where I don't want to put the stress of actually trying to figure out and learn a new fighting game or play something at a reasonably high level for it right now. Which is probably like, I don't mean to sound defeatist or sound like I'm just like beaten down or anything like that, but it's not appealing right now. Using my mental energy in that way is not appealing at all.
Yeah.
I'm glad to get some feedback on that. I wanted to make sure I just wasn't like alone on that sentiment, and I guess it feels good to hear that everybody's feeling kind of the same way. It's tough.
Everyone's feeling.
So I'm glad it's not just like
poopy.
me being if it is kind of poopy. It's just hard to keep up that energy of blocking overheads in real life and then wanting to willingly go and do those online against other people, because at least then I could show off to my friends and be like, watch me block this overhead. But my friends won't see me do that now. I'm doing it all by myself. Nobody's here to
I'm nice,
see me do
and I
some
can
wild
show
shit.
people I'm nice. But then you realize that the people are far more important than the game, and that's what you really need: human connection.
Yeah, I'll admit that I
That was
miss
deep.
Locals quite a bit, because miss
That was
hanging
deep.
out with the homies, like the IRL homies.
I miss your
locals.
homies.
Yeah, I got some pretty decent locals. I got some decent folks hanging around, and I'd like to see them, especially because some of them are like done with school, since I live in like a big college town, and like they're trying to, probably not going to get a job with anyone right now, unfortunately. It seems like everyone's hiring freezes are popping up because of COVID, which is, obviously extremely terrible. But I'd like to be able to like see my friends anymore. So I missed that kind of thing. But I've seen online, not the sentiment that you're so saying, Brett. More of like more of a competitor's edge. Like, well, if there's no reason to compete, then why am I even playing? And I think that is an attitude that I don't support. Because I've definitely been playing fighting games and interested in fighting games and wanting to get better at fighting games since before I realized that you could get more than 2 people together and have a tournament. So to me, it's like there's something deeper about it. It's like seeing my own progression or seeing, like a mental game plan of like, I want to try to work on this tonight, and then like seeing it happen or not happen, and like why that is throughout the night of a session. That kind of stuff, those little like mental markers are easy for me to see value in and derive some pleasure from. So I think that's a cool way to think about things. And I think the people who are just like, well, if I can't win big bucks playing Grand Blue, then fuck this game. I'm just like, okay, you probably weren't going to win big bucks anyways, let's be real. Or maybe you were, because you're like, some New York fighting game player. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't shut up.
Damn, shots fired in New York.
Someone's like gonna like dig through my likes to like try to put me on blast.
New York anime scene put on blast. The famous New York Tallahassee fighting
they
game
got a
feud
New
is
York
alive
video
and well
games
here in
for, like,
2020.
5 months, and then they went down, and I was like, why did New York video games go away? I was gonna buy something from there, and then they left, and that's the feud. I don't know.
That's the feud.
That's the
Yeah,
feud.
I feel
yeah.
it. I was about to say that I'm not
Alright.
going to play games unless I can win big bucks, but then Jar so
Like we had this heart to heart.
yeah, and I've seen the light, and I see now improvement for the sake of improvement has value in itself. Yeah.
I kind of like just playing
That's good.
online because, like, I just don't care about it that like kind of maybe this is like a hybrid position, but I'm being the centrist. But so you were talking about like how you don't want to play something you like, oh, you have to put all this like energy into and like really care about, and like I don't give a fuck about Grand Blue. Like I don't know anything about that IP. So to me, like I really had no investment in the game coming out. It just looked kind of fun, and it was easy to just like hop online and like play. I've been playing with Doom a lot, and we just like play for a couple hours, and like I still get like I don't know. I just like doing combos and hitting people with the funny mix-up, but I don't have to be like invested. It's not like I spent like $300 to come out to this tournament. Like I want to fucking do good. Like I don't have that, so it's easy for me to just like hop online and mash out. But I do extremely miss my locals, especially having moved to LA because my locals are like Don's arcade, where I get to sit around in some guy's garage and play video games on candy cabs. So I do miss that. But but I like being able to like play the games without, because I'm like really bad about putting pressure on myself to perform at tournaments. And like this is like been honestly like a pretty good opportunity for me to just like play the game and not get like upset about it when I do not do well.
Oh wow. That's actually a really good environment to like put yourself in then. Yeah, I can see that. Just playing a video game without like any pressure. That's
like, oh, like I gotta hit my combo, or you drop the confirm, and I'm not like fuck. Like I had that game. If I would have got that, it's just like I dropped that confirm. I guess I should work on that.
Novel idea.
I could see that. It doesn't hit that way for me. I don't know.
I was laughing because that's the exact opposite of what my situation has been with gaming recently. Because I've been like, last week and then yesterday I was streaming Kaizo Mario stuff, and yesterday in particular I did a speed run of a game that I beat last week. So I was absolutely like beating on myself, like, oh, fuck, I had this. Like, why did I do this thing here? I shouldn't have done that. That was so goddamn stupid. Which I did a lot of. I did end up finishing in my goal time, but it was definitely like. There was definitely a lot. I had one point when I was about the halfway point of the run, and I said to myself, I keep trying. I like said this out loud on stream, that I keep trying to go for. Okay, what's the fastest way I can get through this section? What's like, where can I possibly save some time? And it's like, the biggest way I can save time isn't by doing all these tricks. It's by just being consistent and just not doing dumb things, trying to be fast, and then dying because of them. Like I can practice that shit later. From the middle of a run, it's like, let me just focus on just getting through it without having to redo the same thing over and over, because that's going to be my biggest fucking time loss. But
It happens.
definitely beating myself up for a bit there. Things hit an emotional low point in the middle of a ghost house yesterday. I'll just put that out there. To where Velius was in chat, and he's like, Velius was in chat, he's like, hey, just deep breaths, man, you got this. And I was like, okay, fuck this level, deep breath, and then back to it.
I think just getting through it is like a good mindset.
Yeah.
Also, I used to have to like tell myself that when I was like way behind on school projects and stuff. This doesn't have to be good. It just has to be done.
Yeah.
And like as far as like, especially like speedrun stuff, like you got to get through it before you can get fast at it.
That's true. I think there's like something to be said there, just in terms of just even being able to get through it. That there's like you have to have self-compassion to be able to improve, because a huge part of that is you're going to fail, whether it's like playing online. And that's like, for me, that's always been like just in life a problem. I'm not good at self-compassion. And in a way, like having to teach myself to net play to get through it, or like to do the thing that like, and learn to not beat myself up, and to be like, yeah, I dropped that combo, but it's something I can work on, and there's like no consequences because I dropped it on like some net play set. That's like, it kind of has helped me in other areas of my life too, where it's like, oh no, like I messed up this thing at work, but like I can fix it, and got that self-compassion and like make the rainbow with my hands.
That's beautiful.
Woo!
That's actually really, really nice, and I see more of the appeal of like the both of y'all. Like, I'm gonna do this thing, and like I'm gonna commit to it, and I'm gonna make it a little bit public to like get some interaction, and to like record it, and to generally like do my thing. And it's going to get easier every time, and I'm going to get a little better at it. And I might think about doing something like that too.
Yeah, the problem is that then sometimes Arxis nerfs your character, and it's really frustrating.
Oh, you still got 2B. Get over it.
Okay, but like I used to have 5B too.
Okay, and I used to have EX ball in neutral and then get mad at combos off the whatever. The
Have
Mario
y'all
nerfs?
seen the Mario nerfs I
Mario
have to
nerfs.
fucking deal with?
You better nerf Mario.
Mario
You can turn
nerfs.
into a dog.
Nah, nothing happened.
The Tanuki
I,
suit.
I just wanted to be in the conversation. I felt things turn a certain way.
Lambo's
and I
been mad
wasn't
at the
there
Super Smash
anymore.
Brothers
I was
Ultimate,
getting
and
left
he's
in the
taken
dust.
money matches online through the minimum
can
of
see
like
my
12
Violet.
frames of
That's
lag.
right.
You can see my.
Yeah, I only play Smash Ultimate off of using my phone for tethered Wi-Fi. It's great. It's great. Let me drive 5 miles out of town onto the middle of a dirt fucking road and set my Switch up. And it's perfect. It's optimal.
I thought it was funny. Speaking of the Granblue patch, that Doom was right. He told me I should play Percival because they're not going to do
Yeah.
anything to that boy, and they certainly did not do anything.
Damn.
Yeah, like don't. Sometimes it pays to be like the borderline
Man's a
like,
prophet.
rate tier, where like you just need one little thing, and then Arxis is like, "We'll give you 3 little things," and they're like, "Whoa, hey."
Yeah, we don't know.
Roll the dice, and
we
you
don't know
got
how to patch a
5
game. Let's do
positive
this and see what
changes.
happens.
I haven't looked into the notes too much. Did they do the typical Arxis thing?
For,
No,
and
Bobby
for
was
destroying
Siva,
the
she actually
grappler
caught some
character?
nerfs. I
Yeah,
mean,
she-
she didn't catch as much, but like she
no.
caught some things.
Yeah.
And it's like, really?
She
Really?
got a couple things. The divas I know are like not too stressed about it. I saw a couple online who looked kind of stressed about it, but I think day -1 is like not a time to be stressed about it. Have to practice radical acceptance. Like if I'm going to play this game, it's just going to be in the
Yeah.
state of whatever I booted up in at the time, because that's how video games work now. And if I'm going to play, I'm just going to accept it, and I'll take it as it is,
Yeah.
and I'll learn to play around it, and like I'll be better at things for
Yeah.
myself, and not because of enablement from Arxis. Yeah.
And she still
Hell,
has
thank
some
you,
like
Doom.
real dumb stuff. It's not like they didn't kill the character or anything.
Word.
I mean, she still has like, you can duck my lariat, but oops, what if I do
Yeah.
It's like
running
more
bear
hero
grabs?
than
It's like
anything. It's crazy.
unseeable.
You can hear the little like
Yeah, that's why-
sparkly magic.
I actually like whenever I play against her,
Yeah.
I'll always put my headphones on, even if because usually I just have them on, like whatever, but like around my neck or something. But then if I'm playing against her particularly, I'll actually put them on because I don't want to get running bear grab because she does like mad damage off that. You can just
I'm
straight up
not
die.
trying to get got by that.
Yeah. I have a hard time. I for some reason just like visually like really concentrated
too.
visually
I
on that
really
game, and
want-
like I just eat running
guess
bear
the way
grabs all day. I really hate
to
it.
beat that is to try to lab what beats both. Well,
I do,
can-
but I also
nothing.
like
You can't
I play
push
old
buttons with that
Catalina.
shit.
cat. I don't know.
Old cat.
4 guard is a button.
No, my.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, that's a lie. You can totally push buttons at it, but like just the character I was playing and the buttons I
that.
was pushing at the distances
Yeah,
I was
playing,
at were
playing Charlotta,
not
you
the
definitely
correct
feel that when you're
choices.
trying to bring like a butter knife to. Sometimes it feels like a butter knife, and sometimes it feels like fucking Excalibur. Like it's a weird weapon.
Grand Blue thing.
Grand blue things.
All right, teacher, pick
Just
somebody
Grand Blue
for show and tell.
To be honest, like I'm kind of like running out of mindless entertainment. My YouTube suggestions are really bad now,
Watched it all.
but not because of the reasons that most people have. It's just like I think I've run through most of the content that the people I like have currently, because I just have it on all day while I'm working as like kind of a background thing. And so that's like, it's kind of a struggle to find new things. So I started trying to watch movies again because those are hard because they're a commitment. So I watched
Yeah.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden
I do.
Dragon last night, and that movie rules.
Hell yeah.
Like I watched it. I've seen it before, but it was like a long time ago. And I put it on. And I was like it's
I gotta watch
better
it
than I
again.
remember. I really like that movie. The choreography, the fight choreography, and it's just like so good, and it still looks good. But I actually did. I randomly watched a YouTube video, which I think I posted in the Discord, which was this guy who I think the guy who runs the channel is Chinese. I want to say, I might be wrong about that, but he was saying like it was a video about the differences between swords in Japanese and Chinese, not literature, but just like stories, I guess, in general. And he was kind of saying like, I don't know how true this is, but in this guy's video, he had all these examples of like in a lot of Japanese literature, like the weapon is really important. Like, you know, if you watch an anime, it's like, oh, this guy gets like the fucking Buster Sword or whatever, and now he just like destroys everybody because he's got the good gun, you know. And in a lot of Chinese stuff, at least in the examples that he gave, it was like the sword itself was like relatively unimportant. It was a lot more about like the person wielding it. And so I started watching Crouching Tiger, and like right away in that movie, the story is about Li Mubai trying to get it's like he's got the Green Destiny, which is this like 400-year-old like, you know, molecularly sharp, unbreakable sword.
Oh, jeez.
And the first thing that happens in the movie is Li Mubai's like, yeah, I'm kind of over this whole thing. I just want to like give this away. I don't want it anymore. I'm past that point in my life. And then like the one girl, like she steals it, and there's a part where like Li Mubai chases her down because he's like trying to get the sword back, and he gets it back from her, but she has like another sword, I think. And anyway, so they're in a sword fight, and he has the Green Destiny back, and he just like beats her up with a stick that he picks up off the ground. And it was just like really connected with that video I watched. Like that like extremely is a thing in this movie. It's all about like shedding your material possessions and like you matter, your things don't matter. And it's like it has like kind of a cool, like it's a badass kung fu movie, but I thought it had like a cool message in that way
actually
as
does
well.
sound.
Shit, I have to rewatch that. I haven't watched that like since it was like really blew up in the States.
Yeah. I
But,
remember watching
yeah,
it like
I
I
should
highly
totally
recommend
give
it.
that
It
a watch.
rules.
again because I saw
Okay.
it again like when it blew up in the States, and it was like, you know, in white America probably like not taken very seriously, but it was really cool, and I definitely want to watch it again knowing that, and like see that kind of through line through the whole movie.
Yeah, I watched it when I was a kid just because I wanted to go see the cool kung fu movie, and my mom didn't want to go because it was subtitled.
That's become like a
like, I
real
just
thing.
don't
Like not just
And I
like
was like,
accessibility, but just like you are a baby if you don't.
Yeah,
want
and
to
I was like, I
read
don't care. I mean, I get people who like don't like. I mean, sometimes I want to be able to listen to the thing, you know. But I was just like, I don't care if it's subtitle. I just like I need to see this movie. It looks sick, and so I made my mom take me, and we went and saw it. I had a good time. I don't know if she did. Sorry, Mom. I apologize for making you watch the good kung fu movie.
Yeah.
That's on
Pretty sure
Netflix
there's a
right now, by the
sequel,
way. So like that shit is definitely accessible right now.
Yeah, that's why I rewatched it. It was on my suggestions.
I've never seen it before, so I'm probably gonna have to go watch that.
Yeah, you should. That is required viewing. It's real fucking good. I'm gonna watch that before the next podcast.
I think that's my only recent media venture that I have to talk about.
Damn. All right. Well,
So now this probably is working as well as it did for Lamo.
yeah, you pointed to Rhett. But yeah, I mean, like I mentioned before, I've been playing a bit of Kaizo stuff, so nothing too crazy. We already talked about that. Y'all know what it is. But I actually recently rewatched a movie, and by recently I mean literally finished it today. I rewatched the first Matrix movie for the first time in
How
probably
was
about
that?
10
That
years.
must have been a
So good.
treat.
It's real fucking good. Like you know that it's something that I'm assuming we've all probably watched at some point before.
Several times.
And
Oh yes.
you know, it's one of those cultural touchstones where it's like, okay, you know it's good. You know, enough people you probably have good memories of watching it. But when I rewatched it, I was like, holy shit, I forgot like how good this is. It's fucking wild.
It's really good.
It's really fucking good.
Oh,
Also,
it still looks good
absolutely.
too. Like the effects. I mean, now they've deteriorated a little bit, but it still doesn't look bad. You
Yeah.
can tell they're effects shot, but it still looks like pretty nice.
yeah, it still is definitely, you know, visually it still holds up. It's not like, you know, it's not going to be anything that's. There's been some crazy good looking movies that come out in the past couple of years, especially. But no, it doesn't look bad by any stretch of the imagination. I do like that in keeping true to the era it was released. Like 10 minutes into the movie, you hear Dracula playing in the background, and I'm like, "Yep, there it is."
Very nice.
I'm like, this is absolutely a product of its times.
The movie has a great soundtrack.
It does. It really does. But yeah, I've been having a blast rewatching it. I know originally I have a hard time watching movies because it's like, all right, well, most movies are about that 90-minute mark. Matrix is about like 2.5 to 3, I think.
It is not 3 hours long.
Hold on, let me pull it
I think the
back up.
sequels are.
I think
2
it's close.
and 3 are
I think the
long,
first one,
but
the
Okay,
first one is like
it's-
under 2 hours.
It's
I believe.
credits start at like 2 hours 10 minutes. So okay. 2 hours.
really,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
But I usually have a hard time watching movies because I'm like, I don't want to sit here and watch something. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to get it from the couch for 2 hours, even though I was probably going to sit on the couch for 2 hours doing something else anyway.
It's a
Instead
commitment.
of watching one long movie, I just watch a bunch of short videos. But no, it really is. It absolutely is. But I'm glad that I split this up across 2 days to watch all of it and just kind of really give myself time to take in how much of the story and how much of this universe is being developed in this first movie. I might actually end up rewatching 2 and 3, even though I know they're not as
Yo,
well
hold
liked.
up. Can hold up. 2 has that highway scene that kind of
It does rule, actually.
Okay,
The highway
so
scene does
2
own.
2 is a really bad movie, but the highway chase scene, in my opinion, is the greatest action sequence ever filmed.
What?
I think Reloaded
can-
is worth watching only
All
for
right,
the highway
all right,
scene.
round table.
It is fucking
Whatever go
killer.
around, what is your
It's
favorite
real
action
fucking
scene
good.
off the top of your head? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
I don't.
Rush Hour 2, the scene where they're fighting on the like little like bamboo wall, where they're like climbing up the wall, and Jackie Chan is like the bamboo wall is like falling down, and he's like fighting off dudes off the bamboo wall. Like 10 minutes into the movie.
That is a strong choice.
All right. The first that came to mind for me was in the Raid 1 when they're trying to like sneak through some of the hallways, and it just turns out there's like a whole fucking ton of people on like the floor above them, and then just like this massive fucking fight starts out, and it's fucking wild. A dude gets his throat cut on a broken wooden door, and I remember distinctly watching that in my friend's basement when we were in college, and his roommates already did not like me because I was loud. Whatever. Fuck you, Natalie and Austin. But yeah, that happened, and I was like, yes! And my buddy Nolan was like, dude, you gotta be quiet. I'm like, listen, I know I gotta be quiet, but that shit was fucking, come on. And he was like, yeah, okay, you're right. You're right, but...
What's your number
the Terry
Jarv, what is it?
like the Terry Bogard dubbed version of I don't know what movie it is, but like the dude's like fighting all the way up the stairs and starts off, "Hey you!" and he starts going, "Power dog!" Oh my god, it's so crazy good. I gotta find it for y'all.
I have no idea what this is.
It's pretty good.
They're all.
I still stand by
They're
the
all really
Reloaded
good.
chase scene, though. That
I need to
very
rewatch
strong
that.
scene. Top 10 for sure.
It's like
Lamo, did you catch
What?
the 2 really bad cuts in The Matrix? So I have to bring
Probably
this up
not.
just because whenever we talk about The Matrix. And it's so weird because the rest of that movie is so good. Like, you watch the action scenes in that movie, and there's no shaky... Well, there's some shaky cam, but, you know, it's like on the actors because they actually learned how to do the things right. So you got, like, these wide shots and, like, slow-mo, and you can, like, really see everything that's happening, right? But then in the very first scene, when the cops come up to arrest/kill Trinity, she does, like, you know, it freezes and she does the mantis thing and it spins, and then she, like, kicks the cop in the head, and instead of just, like, showing it, it cuts to this, like, where the camera's, like, here.
Yes. I was wondering, I'm like, what the fuck was up with that? Like,
Yeah,
why
I'm
did...
like, fucking why, dude?
yeah,
And then the other
that
time
bugged
they
the
do
shit
it
out of me.
again. They do it again in the lobby scene. You watch the whole lobby scene, and it's, like, incredible. And especially at the time, it was just like, how did they do any of this? This is wild.
Yeah.
It gets to the very end. There's one guard left. Neo, like, jumps off a wall, kicks off the guy's shoulder, and he's like, it's like slow motion. He's about to kick the guy in the head, and it goes, boop, cut to right here. and it just shows like a boot hitting the guy in the head.
Hold on,
Just like, why?
I'm gonna rewind and watch that one because I do have this movie pulled up right now.
Like every other cut and like shot in that movie is so good, and then they do that in those two spots, and it always bothers me. Perfect movie otherwise, though. No complaints.
I think Matrix 1 is definitely one of the more perfect movies. It's like right up there with like Jurassic Park with like what Lamo was saying. It's like, yeah, everybody's like Jurassic Park's good. But then you go watch it and it's like it really was goddamn good. Jurassic Park is really good.
Yeah.
And you don't realize that until you go back and watch it again and you're like, oh my god, they really
like,
were like
making
a really good movie back then.
This movie, Jarvis, I just looked at the clip he posted. I think this is The Protector. It's a Tony Jaa movie. I've actually seen that. It's a very good movie. That dude is ridiculous.
I rewatched that
Tony
clip from
Jaa's
Matrix
a
at the end of
god.
the lobby fight, and yeah, it's just that's such a weird cut.
Right? You're just like, why, dude? Every other action scene in this is just like slow motion, wide shots, and then they're like, no, you don't get to see the finale of this.
Yeah, that's weird. Got it. Okay, so I because this is on my mind now, and because there are people who are on a call with me, I have to ask: have any of y'all ever played?
Yes,
or
and that
heard
game
of
fucking
Half-Life
rules.
1 mod, The Specialist.
The game
Definitely
is
heard of
fucking
it.
incredibly
Never played it.
good.
Yes,
It's very good.
hell yeah. Okay, so for people who aren't aware of it, it is a mod for Half-Life 1 to make it pretty much just exactly like the Matrix. Like, there is kung fu in it.
Oh.
There's different moves depending on like which direction you're facing and things like that. Kung fu actually can like one hit kill. It's really strong if you have the right shit going on. There's like different like running and jumping speeds and different like acrobatic moves that are available to you depending on how much weight you're carrying, depending on your guns and shit. And like the most famous map that was in that mod was the lobby from the end of the Matrix. There was an elevator that goes all the way up to the roof scene where they had like another part of the fight. And like it was so fucking cool. And just watching that today, I was like, man, this is my favorite fucking map. I miss the Specialists. I want to play that shit again.
I will absolutely download the Specialist if we.
I
want to
have
a
Half-Life.
Specialist.
You just need Half-Life 1,
Yes,
right?
please. That sounds like so much fun.
I haven't played that game in a
pretty sure I
million
have,
years, but it ruled.
my old
Yeah, it's just a
ass,
Half-Life 1 mod.
Yeah.
I found like a Blue Shift CD key, and then it gave me like all of my old Half-Life 1 shit. So I'm in it now. I got fucking like Day of Defeat and shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I had to find my original Half-Life CD to recover my Steam account.
Holy crap.
So it's really weird. I made a Steam account like basically day one, and back then Steam was like terrible. It was really bad.
Yeah.
So I tried to use it for a little while, and then I uninstalled it and just like never looked at it again. And then years and years later, somebody wanted me to play some game with them, so I was like, whatever, I guess I'll download Steam. And I couldn't figure out what the password was. I don't know, I was having some kind of problem, so I contacted Valve Tech Support. And they were like, oh, well, it looks like when you originally created this Steam account, you did it with a copy of Half-Life. And I was like, yep, I certainly own a hard copy of Half-Life. And they were like, well, if you can find that disc and give us the CD key off the back of it, we can restore your account. And so that's what I ended up doing. So my actual Steam account, I think everybody's Steam accounts, it's like your username is like the name of your account, right?
I think so.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah, my Steam account name, the actual account name, is my fucking email address because back when I made the account, that's what it was. And I can't change it.
Oh, that seems big whack.
It's kind of whack, but...
I'm definitely Googling how to get the Specialists installed.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Oh, dude, it's still just up on
Half-Life
ModDB.
right
Released 2002. Hell yeah.
Is this where we have to
think
stop
it's
the
actually
podcast because we're all
happening.
going to start playing the Specialists? I think this is it. Thank you all for joining us. This is
Sick.
YASEcast episode 5, 6? What are we on right now? I don't remember.
Look,
6? Episode 6. Look at that. We're getting older by the day. Thank you again so much for joining us. Obviously, we had a lot of fun tonight. So happy to see all of you here. Thank you to Jarv, Master Who, Morgan, Snooze. Thank you all for joining me here today. You can find us on so many different places. We have 5 people, so we're not going to go through the Twitters. Y'all heard it. Y'all know where to go. No, actually, Jarvin, who? Let me get both yours since you're not on the show
you can
too
find
often.
me at JarvDog.
Where can the people find you?
Yeah, on Twitter. Like you said,
Is that just
you
on
were
Twitter,
talking about
or-
Twitters.
All right. Well, I said, where can the people find you? Okay, whatever.
I'm on Twitter. I'm Master Who. You can find me at Master Hooligans. WHO Ligans. I also have a YouTube channel that I don't update far enough
That's
for
such a
Let's
good
Plays.
name.
It's called Let's Play.
God.
If you want to watch me play some Phantasy Star Online.
God, that's so good.
That's very good.
I'm sorry, guys.
That's so
It's
good.
taken. Had to monopolize that right away. Even if I don't update it, it is mine.
You can catch us next week. We'll be back. Keep it wavy. Go to YASE.world. Get yourself some fly-ass t-shirts. Go get the fucking Angel tank top. Weather's about to be getting warm. You
I need that.
something to look good in
Run
the
it,
summer.
homie.
Need something
the
to look
YASE
out in.
tank.
Get that fucking tank.
I'd knock him down.
Run it. Listen, if I see you in public after COVID-19 is fucking done with,
I'll knock
wearing
him down.
some YASE gear, I'll give you a kiss.
I'll run it, homie.
Wow. You're not go down.
I need that. Oh yeah. Call him the Red Assist.
I'll OTG them. You knock them down, I OTG.
There we go.
Peace out,
Alrighty.
y'all.
Until next week, keep it wavy.